I'm passionate about making a difference in increasing the quality of life and survivorship for all affected by lung cancer, having lost my mother and grandmother to this terrible disease. If there was a time when The Ecologist appeared not to be making a difference at all, not doing something useful, I wouldn't do The Ecologist, but I think it is useful. When you're someone who cares about making a difference in the world, and you have resources to do that, you have literally hundreds of choices you could make about how to do that. If you think about making a difference in the community, my family has always had a strong interest in the arts. I'm always interested in finding ways to innovate. It's a blend, it's not a point focus. Businesses should encourage all their staff to come up with ideas, not be afraid to make suggestions, and then to act on those suggestions. There is nothing worse than going to a job every day where you feel like you are not making a difference to either the place you work or the world you live in. I don't see how you can grow as a world without being able to get along with people. So many people is hating out there and it's not making a difference. I want the kids that think the Kardashians are amazing to think that going out there and actually making a difference in your world is just as amazing. When we make these decisions that we're going to commit ourselves to making a difference in the life of one person every single day, what happens is we actually build a whole generation of citizen leaders. I am very proud that Accenture is among corporate champions to be honored by the Women's Forum of New York for our mutual commitment to making a difference. I feel like I'm making a difference. I feel like putting out a message for young girls to follow your dreams and just work at what you want to do and be yourself. For 8 years, I've served on the Indian Affairs Committee, 2 years as the ranking member. I've been on that committee since day one. I will stay on the committee for as long as I'm in the Senate because of my commitment to making a difference for Alaska Natives. Making a difference, and allowing God to use your gifts to change someone else's life, is truly the greatest joy you will ever experience. For me, getting off the sidelines means women making a difference by letting their voices be heard on the issues they care about. It's not about someone making a difference on their own. It's about everybody pulling together to make a difference. I started out real young as a tight end, but I was never getting the football. I knew when I played basketball, I loved to have control of the ball. When I played baseball, I was a pitcher. I always wanted to be the guy throwing the passes and making a difference, I guess. I hope telling stories though, making a difference, as in my academic work and nonprofit work, will help me to live my grandmother's adage of life is not about what happens to you, but about what you do with what happens to you. To me, that's how I want to define my career, is making a difference in big games. For me, Caitlyn Jenner is such a huge role model. She's really making a difference in our society by just being brave and sharing her story. People say she's not brave and courageous, but to me, she is so brave and courageous. Although AmeriCorps is making a difference among its participants and the people they serve, we must address homelessness and the need for job training among our veterans. The importance of this success of Wipro has become manifold more, because it's the success of Wipro that enables the possibility of making a difference to some of the most disadvantaged people in the world. Between being governor and part of the Senate, one of the things I did was I held a chair at the business school at my alma mater, Indiana University, and I'd go to lecture the graduates, and I loved that, answering their questions. It was real. It was tangible, and it was making a difference every day. We are devoted to doing our part and making a difference for our children and grandchildren. For me, leadership is making a difference. It's using your agency to bring about change. It's been ingrained in me, from my parents and others, this idea of making a difference in the world. I think I'm making a difference for a lot of young singers. I'm motivated to keep going to keep making a difference in people's lives. I love making a difference, and doing it quickly. But at the same time you can't assume that making a difference 20 years ago is going to allow you to sort of live on the laurels of those victories for the rest of your life. I tried to be really nice and like the things other people liked and do the things other people were supposed to do, and what you find out is that they're going to bully you anyway. And I thought, you know what, if I'm going to get bullied anyway, I might as well get bullied for making a difference in the world. But if you really want to get involved in making a difference, you can stay at home with your family and have a job and make a reasonable living without having to be on an airplane all of the time. Then you ought to go back home and run for school board. Being a working mom, you want to make a difference in our schools, which is making a difference in our children, and ultimately it's making a difference in our community. As an actor, you always want to feel like what you're doing is making a difference to the story. Making a difference has always been most important to Starberry because it takes lots of care and thought to do so. Through their Making a Difference franchise, I am excited to work with NBC News to continue to highlight stories of organizations and individuals who make their communities and our world healthier, more just and more humane. People need to know that what they're doing is making a difference and that their leaders notice and appreciate their efforts. I want to be remembered as someone who put India on the scientific map of the world in terms of large innovation. I want to be remembered for making a difference to global healthcare, and I want to be remembered as someone who did make a difference to social economic development in India. It can't be articulated enough that feminism means the desire to have equality between men and women. I believe that, and I act on those beliefs by going to marches and making a difference where I can. If you really believe that you're making a difference and that you can leave a legacy of better schools and jobs and safer streets, why would you not spend the money? The objective is to improve the schools, bring down crime, build affordable housing, clean the streets, not to have a fair fight. While it can be overwhelming to realize how many problems there are to solve in the world, it's always inspiring to see so many talented people willing to spend their time and energy in hopes of making a difference. I don't consider this hard work. I love it, and I think I get to make a difference. I really believe in Secretary Clinton, and I want to feel like I'm part of making a difference. I really do. Music is a very strong force when it comes to making a difference, as well as entertaining, soothing, and encouraging. There are many people making a difference. I mean, Dr. King never held an office. Gandhi never held an office. There are people who are archetypes in our society who have never held office and made a difference. I actually think that the most efficacious way of making a difference is to lead by example, and doing random acts of kindness is setting a very good example of how to behave in the world. This is basketball. It's all-star and all that stuff. That's not what it's really about. It's about making a difference and impacting the kids and helping people in need. That's what it's about. In a cornball way, I think being a celebrity is about making a difference, too. Millennials tend to appreciate regular feedback because they want to feel that their work matters and that they are making a difference in the workplace. As the youngest generation at most organizations, they also tend to be hungry for growth and development opportunities. I have spent my career making a difference with underperforming assets. A lot of people are focused on taking over the world or doing the biggest thing and getting the most users. I think part of making a difference and doing something cool is focusing intensely. I was there in 2009 for the Matthew Shepard Foundation dinner. I was honored with an award, Making a Difference Award. It was a wonderful night. I was recently asked about the business side of Biggest Loser, but as long as we entertain people, we can keep coming back and making a difference. It's a delicate balance, but one feeds off the other. I feel so good about the show. It's uplifting and inspiring and entertaining at the same time. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.